Hi, my name is Leif Johnson. You might recall me as the guy who reviewed Elder Scrolls Online for the PC when it came out last year, and this year I'm reviewing it for the Xbox One and the PS4 as it comes to consoles. As you can see, I've taken advantage of the import ability where I've imported my characters from my PC version. I have a veteran rank 14 Dragon Knight, and I have a veteran rank 12 Nightblade. That was the original character I had, and I decided I didn't like it. So we're going to jump in here. This works really great, and there was zero problems. I experienced that. I got these characters in like 30 seconds. But let's jump in, and just a little bit. I'm on a little bit of a slow connection here right now, but I've only had a couple of hours to play this, but I'm enjoying what I see, and I've always said in the past that Elder Scrolls Online looks like it could be a really good fit for consoles. The abilities are very few, meaning you only have about 5 on your active bar. You switch a weapon and you have 5 more. And that's really a good setup for consoles as opposed to having like the 40 abilities that you have at one time in a game like WoW. And I'm very happy to see that it works here. And it's all very intuitively mapped. Like I press the menu button right here and it shows me where I am here, and I just hold down the menu button and boom, I can get on my little Gwar mount here. Now that's a certain thing. I originally came, like I said, from the PC version, and I've been a subscriber for about as long as they've had a subscription, and on the actual store there, I had, many crowns. Well, the thing is while the stuff that I actually bought with the crowns came over, I didn't actually get the crowns that I have. I only have, I believe, 500 right now, whereas several thousand in the PC version. So as you can see, I had purchased this Gwar in there and stuff. But unfortunately, I'd wish that I had purchased some other stuff before I transferred over, because now I won't have that anymore. And I actually kind of hope that this will become my main playthrough. I have always kind of just liked being able to sit and do this stuff on my couch, and this will give me a little bit more relaxed and feeling than playing WoW or something. I especially enjoyed that about Neverwinter. But anyway, let's get back to the game itself. Let's see, hit the B, and as you can see, it kind of messed up there, and it is very nice. So I like it because with the gamepad, it feels kind of, a more console feel. I hate to use that constant comparison, but it feels like God of War or something like that. And especially with the way that the Elder Scrolls Online is designed, where you have a white, you hit the right to do a heavy attack or a light attack, and then you use your left trigger to block. That's really cool, and I like that. It feels a lot more involved than just hitting some buttons. The problem is that some of the buttons feels like they're not in the right place. For example, crouch is here on the left thumbstick by pressing it down, and then if you hit the left button on the D-pad, that's what allows you to switch weapons. These feels like they should be in opposite areas. Too often I find myself in the thick of combat wanting to switch, and instead I just end up trying to sneak or to crouch, and as you can imagine, that's already gotten me killed once. And the problem is that while it does give you some options in order to remap and stuff, and by basically putting different abilities in here, what you're looking at on the screen there is basically what you get. They don't really allow you to change anything else like that, so that's really bad if it's such a thing as like the weapon swap and the crouch. All the rest of them feel like they're in a very good place, but not this, and it makes things a little confusing. And I've yet to go into a dungeon on the console, but I have a feeling I'd have a very bad time. And there's other elements that were easy to find on the PC that are a little hard to find here. Let's take mail. I have, as you saw, I have 2 characters. My Nightblade is pretty much just my crafter these days. So I have, as you can see, I couldn't even find it for a second, but mail these days is actually buried under social. And so here it is. And, you can see all the stuff I've gotten. So take my food, raw blacksmith, and but the thing is, because I have a I'm constantly getting stuff from other characters and everything, and and I have to wonder how that's going to affect with the bank too. But in general, though, everything is pretty mapped well, and about as good as you can hope for this type of game. One of the things, though, I've noticed when we switched to the consoles is it's hard to put it it's hard to really explain what I mean, but it feels more like Skyrim. As you can see with the field of view here, where you're looking at third view, that's a lot closer to what you would get in Skyrim. I also, by the way, keep the abilities on all the time. You could turn them off, but and then you have the first person view, but I don't like that as much in the MMO, even though I am very welcome for the option, but and that is why it's hard to kind of figure out what's going on here. But I like that it's there. But the over-the-shoulder view feels a lot more like Skyrim than what you saw in the PC, and I actually appreciate that. And my favorite playthrough of Skyrim, or at least the one that I put the most hours in, was actually on my Xbox 360. And this feels like a very similar experience. The thing is, though, is that, looking at it, talking about consoles versus PC, the graphics here don't look quite as good as they do in the PC version of Elder Scrolls Online, but especially when you're a little bit further away from the screen, I found that it doesn't as matter. Right now, I'm currently just about 2 feet from the screen, and I can definitely see it. But so currently, I'm just running around here. Let's actually go out and do something. Let's get on my mount here and see. It's let's see, set destination. Pretty simple, but. I'm actually in a very high level zone. I play the Ebonhard pack, and this would be the last section of the Elflands, and this is Reaper's March. I've comparatively haven't seen that much of this, but there are very few people here at the end game. There wouldn't be a lot of people here because most people have moved on to Craglorn in the actual game itself on the PC, but there would be a lot more people than this. And it makes, you can tell that a lot of the PC people probably stayed with the PC version rather than buying a whole nother copy of the game in order for it to participate in this release. And I can totally see where that would be an appeal. But in a certain way, one thing is nice is that means that this would be an entirely different crew. And so people who were more drawn to consoles would be here, and you wouldn't have this constant clash with, the PC version was better and stuff like that. But so I think that would work out. But there's also another big difference here, and let's go ahead and get out of here. Matter of fact, let's go to Craglorn. There's also a major difference here between let's see, where do I want to go? Let's go to Belkarth. But between the PC version and the console version, and indeed with a lot of MMOs, when you see somebody in the real world here, you don't see their actual character names. Somebody won't see me as Isleif the Salt. Somebody won't see my characters as, Isleif the Brash and stuff. So the problem is you're seeing them with their Xbox gamer tags. And for me, as a kind of a role player, that takes out a lot of the immersion, and I don't really like that. And another interesting thing here, but I kind of hope that they give you the option to show your character name instead. But the problem is, one thing I've noticed though, is that in Elder Scrolls Online itself on the PC, because so many people have different characters, I'll friend somebody in a dungeon, and then boom, he doesn't. I don't know who this guy is when I'm looking up on the friends list, but. Now that everybody has the same gamer tag, regardless of whether he's on his Templar or on his Nightblade or on his Dragon Knight, I know who that person is. So I have to admit there's that appeal. And for what it's worth, my name is Esotericus, so it's a little bit, more MMO friendly. But this is my quick impressions of Elder Scrolls Online for the console version, and I'm going to be playing it more over the next couple of days, and I like what I see, but these are the things that immediately jumped out at me as problems, and I hope that I can see that they learn to live with them. Voice chat in particular, it's very nice because it's area chat. Oh, actually, here comes a player. Oh, it's cheese flavor again. But the thing is, it's actually area chat, so you have to go in there and talk to somebody. But the thing is, there's no text chat. So basically, talking to somebody with voice chat is the only way you can do anything. And so even if you just wanted to type out that you're looking for a group for, some kind of caverns dungeon or something like that, you really can't. You got to use the group finder, or you actually have to go into town and call it out. There's some cool things, but you hear people, arguing themselves about what kind of die they should get and how their brother should get the pizza out of the oven, and that's a problem. But it is definitely much more of a console feel, and perhaps that will become better suited to this than the PC version. But right now, it feels a little, like it breaks the role play. But again, my name is Leif Johnson, and I'll be playing this for many more hours throughout the week. And I hope to have a review up fairly soon because, like I said, I'm already veteran level 14, and that's pretty much the end game. I might start out at the dungeon again, and I look forward to telling you more. So for more on Elder Scrolls Online, stick with IGN.